Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the All In No Limits podcast, beautiful people. Let's get comfortable. You already know. Thank you so much for tuning back in. It's me, as usual, your friend, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your pusher, your number one hype man and motivator. It's me, your girl, Sharani Vaughn. And today, you guys, we have a special guest. None other than my sister, Tori. Introduce yourself, girl.
Hey, y'all. I'm Queen Victoria. That's Queen, Victoria. I just want to say it's a pleasure to be here today. I can't wait to chop it up with my baby sis. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about it. So you guys already know when we come on this show, we come here to just lay it all on the table. We come here to heal. We come here to grow. And we come here to glow. You know, I always say I want to push you into your greatest potential. I want to push you to the greatest version of who you are. And in order for us to get there, we have to face things. We have to talk about things. We have to let it out. And we have to be honest with ourselves about what's going on so that we can maneuver through these things, right? In a healthy manner. We talk about positive coping mechanisms, and that's what we're doing. But today, we're talking about all things dating. All things dating.
All in no limits.
No limits, because we're taking the limits off. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad. We're going to get into it, okay? We're going to talk about things we should do, what we shouldn't do. But we ain't going to be talking about nobody. We're just going to be talking about what we're talking about. But if it pertains to you, then
Wear the shoe, boo.
do what you do, okay? Okay, so you already know I have my handy dandy phone where I take my good notes and all that good stuff. So I want y'all to listen to this conversation. So remember, we're talking about all things dating, okay? This is Dating Talk with Tori, okay? And it says all things dating. Now, I have so many things that I want to talk about when it comes to dating. I kind of don't know where to start. So we're going to start at the top.
Start from the beginning then.
It's from the top. So my notes are kind of like all over the place because when I'm thinking, I have a thought and I like write it down really quick so it kind of be in any kind of order. So I'm going to just start from the top and we're going to just work through the things. So the first thing is that we're going to talk about is, should women approach a man? That's the first thing.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put the next question in there with it because it's kind of like the same thing. Should women approach men and should women propose to men? Those are the two questions. These is the tops of the datings. Should women approach men? What is your thoughts? Because we've talked about this before.
Should women approach men? I say it all has to do with me. It all has to do with the environment. You know what I mean? Like, I have to really, really be feeling the vibes with you. And then you have to, like, give me a sense of security. Like, for instance, like, you have to give me the eye, too, to let me know.
So you're okay with approaching a man?
Definitely. Yeah, of course. I feel like, get what you want. Why not?
Okay, I ain't mad at you. I hear it. I respect her opinion. My thoughts, which I know we've already talked about this. I'm not approaching no man. Now, I believe everybody be like, oh, shoot your shot, shoot your shot, shoot your shot. So I realized one thing in the dating scene, in the dating world, I'm a flirt. And I found myself flirting with people that I really didn't like. And I feel like that's kind of rude and disrespectful, so I stopped doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, come on now, make it make sense, Sharon. You ain't even
You don't even really like them.
You just trying to waste time.
Something
or not waste time, but like just
something to do.
Yeah. And I thought that was rude, so I stopped doing it. However, I don't feel comfortable approaching a guy. Not saying that I won't, like, in no kind of, because I'm
what if he's approachable, though?
I mean, I will build conversation with people. I don't mind doing that. I'll talk, but I don't know if I'm in the place of building a conversation where I'm gonna approach you like, hey, can I get your number?
Let me tell you something. You know what I'll do? I'll see you in the bar and I'll send a drink over to you. It's all in the way that you do it. I'll send a drink over to you because
you are a straight dude.
I will send a drink over to you, and then I'll come over and like if you're giving me that eye, if you being approachable and you making it seem like I'm interested.
So
too.
if he's making it seem like he's interested
because
too,
not all men are for it, and not all men take initiative, but
a lot of men are shy.
A lot of men are, but if you take the initiative, some men who's not intimidated by that will actually be turned on by that. They'll look at you as a go-getter. And the way I look at it is, most of the guys try to talk to me, I'm not interested in them anyway. So I like to pick what I want.
I like that. You know what? This is the reason why I love to get other people's perspective, because you can hear stuff you ain't never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see things that you ain't never seen before. So I like that. Because a lot of guys that approach me, I don't even give them a time of day. And that's crazy, because I just said something last night. I recorded a video of me saying this last night. I said, because there have been some guys in my inboxes, and I had asked one of my good friends, there's a guy, I said, do you ever respond to the girls or, the people that be in your DMs? And he'd be like, yeah, sometimes. And I'd be like, well, what do they need to say for you to want to respond? Because I have people in my DMs all the time, dang near every day, and I'd be like, and I get irritated, like, ugh. But then I say, Sharon,
your
like,
husband could be in that DM.
Exactly, that's what I said. And I said, Sharon, you keep turning people down. I be like looking at, and I said, I always tell myself, Sharon, fix your face, fix your attitude. It ain't that deep. You can either respond or you don't have to respond, but you don't have to have the attitude about it. Because how are you supposed to meet this man that you supposed to marry if you just keep? So I feel like oftentimes and it's probably me, it's not that I prejudge people, but I feel like I don't want to waste my time. So I'll tell people like, no, thank you, that's okay. Or I'll take like weeks to respond. And I know, and these are not healthy coping mechanisms. So learn from Sharon. Don't do what I'm doing.
Definitely not.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna always be honest. So I feel like I don't know if I have the ability to approach a man and just be like, hey, what's up? Even though, now let me tell y'all what also happens. So what I find is when I'm getting ready to do my shows, God has this habit of like, like taking me through something that I'm about to get ready to talk about, because literally this just happened last week.
Oh my God.
So I was kind of sort of introduced to this guy, right?
Okay.
And he's very nice to look at, right?
Okay.
And I only hear great things about him. However, I don't know him like that.
Okay.
So I went and looked at his page.
Okay, that's a start.
And I looked at it and I wanted to say hi, but I'm like, no, because one, I don't know if he has a girlfriend. Two, I don't know if he's available.
Well, one, you're not going to find out if you don't ask. Two, you're not going to find out if you don't ask.
But it's weird because do guys really respond to women in their
Ask
DMs?
them to go out for coffee or something.
I don't want to do that.
Why not? You have to get out of your comfort zone if you want to find.
I feel like he should
life,
see me.
He might do, but he might be afraid to approach you as well. He might have the same issues that you're having.
You know,
he might think you got a man.
I've talked to a lot of guys, and like I do surveys before I do like these shows, and I ask like I found out that a lot of men are kind of like really shy and they're afraid to approach women, mainly because men don't like rejection. You know, that does something to their ego. That does something to their manlyhood.
It will bring them all the way down.
But at the same time, it's like I feel like people should shoot their shot. Now, this is my thing. I'm not saying y'all have to agree with me. I don't feel like me as a woman that I would approach a man. I don't think it's like totally no, because I've heard some really great love stories of women approaching a man and just saying what they saying, and the man like, ooh, and they feel it, and then they end up married and all this other great stuff. So I think that's really dope.
I think you're very traditional, and I think that you're old school. And,
I think that I'm shy.
You're shy.
I don't know
but
if
also,
I can do it.
And also, we grew up watching Beauty and the Beast. Like, we grew up watching these Disney movies and stuff, and the man approaches the woman.
Well, in Beauty and the Beast, she was definitely the one. Belle, that's one of my favorite movies.
She was
the one. She was like, what's wrong with you? Why are you tripping?
Right.
You know?
But I think we watch those movies and emulate that as we grow older, because we say that's the way that you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? But a lot of women, if you talk to a lot of women, some of them has approached their husbands that they've been with for 13, 14 years. You know what I mean? Sometimes a man is like, I think, turned on by a woman taking charge.
Do you think it's easier to approach a man via text or email or DMs or in person?
Which you said, which is easier to me? Person. I say person. In person.
I ain't seen them before.
Oh, you never seen them before?
Not face to face.
Okay. This is exactly why you need to ask for lunch or ask to take him. Why not? He could be your potential forever though.
He
or
could be
he could be
because
a really good friend.
because what I heard about him, he seemed like a great person, and what I'm hearing, it seems like we will be good dating each other.
Yeah.
Just from what I hear.
On paper.
But I don't know.
You guys kind of,
right.
you know.
So I'm just like, but I would like an actual introduction.
I don't understand why you just want to ask this man for coffee. I just don't understand. Hey, let's go get a cup of coffee. You like Starbucks? And then when you get there, we're like, what do you like? And
but what if he has a girlfriend?
Okay, now listen. I'm not a home wrecker, okay? But sometimes, let's just say this. If you ask for that coffee, that'll be your answer. If he come, that'll be your answer.
That is a fact.
It'll solve all that.
That is
so
a fact.
Then, even if he do got one, because he have a girlfriend, don't mean that, because that's not a wife. So even if he do have a girlfriend and decides to entertain you, guess who his new girlfriend is? I'm just saying, like, you never know. Sometimes people be in the end stage of their relationship. So this is what I'm going to do.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray about it because I'm in the business of not making moves without God. I feel like I've come to the point where, because remember when we were younger, I remember you had approached one of the guys, and I was like, that is so ghetto.
I probably was like, damn.
I was like, that's trifling. What are you doing? And you guys, I was so adamant about this. I'm like, she's so ghetto. Like, she just approached this dude. But the thing is, he was into it. And he liked it. And they ended up dating and everything. And I'm like, this is crazy. This girl really be approaching guys. But I'm now that I'm older, I see that sometimes we have to spark that conversation. We have to
and then also,
that situation.
You grew up with your boyfriends and relationships and stuff was like that. Like, you were approached. You were courted. You know what I'm saying? So
I was pursued.
That's
very
when
much
you were pursued. So in that instance, that already put you in a space to where it's like, no, I'm traditional. You have to approach me.
Now I would probably spark a conversation with someone. Like, I don't, like, for me, whether it's a man or woman, I have a thing where if I see someone, I will comment or compliment or something like, oh my God, that looks really nice.
Right.
You know, because that's just who I am. Now, what I probably don't like is sometimes I don't like people to talk to me. Because I'll be like, no, thank you. And I don't want to do it with an attitude. I try to do it with a calm, because sometimes I feel like you're going to waste my time. Like, that's the energy that I get from you. So I don't even want to pursue this conversation or even take it to another level, because I feel like this is going to waste my time.
Open up. Let me tell you. Open up. Release some of that. Go enjoy life. You have no children.
I do, but I don't want to go on dates with everybody.
No, don't do that.
I'm not
don't be available to everybody. But just go out. Go out. Hey, it don't necessarily have to be serious. Let's meet up here. Let's meet up at this bar. Right. Or let's meet up here. I'm in my car, you in your car. Let's talk and let's see if we can have a conversation. If we can have a conversation, then let's go on a date. Take it slow. It's your choice, but always make sure you're doing this how you want to. You understand what makes you comfortable.
Right.
So if you feel like, no, I want to go out and I want to sit and have coffee first to just see, because you can tell a lot from a person's conversation. You could tell a lot from 5 minutes of a person's conversation. You could tell a lot about them. So just go out and take it slow. Let's go out. Okay. Let's go have a coffee. And if we can talk through coffee, then let's go to dinner.
So, attached to that question, let's attach something to that question really quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to attach this before I go to the next question when we talk about should somebody propose and all that other good stuff. Attached to the dating question. How do you show interest in someone or show them that you like them? Or how do you know when someone is interested in you? And this is the approach. This is the initiation. This is the
when we come,
yeah,
we see you, and
yeah. Because then we're gonna talk about the other dating, actually getting into the dating part late in a little bit.
Let me tell you the story really quick. I was in a club with my friend Vienna a long time ago, many years ago, and we saw this guy. Right, me and her were standing side to side. The guy came up to her, and I was like, okay, well, she pretty much won. He came up to her and said, "Your friend is so pretty. I would love to get her number." And then I asked him, we all laughed, and she, like, he want to talk to you. We all laughed, but then I says, why you didn't say it to me? Why you didn't approach me? And he straight up told me, I was shy. Aww. And you kind of wasn't approachable. I'm like, what made me unapproachable? You didn't look at me. You didn't give me eye contact. There was no body language. There was no moment.
So everything is included, body language.
Everything.
I think, and I always
say, if you
say,
do this, when a guy's looking at you, you do this, you show no interest. You closed in.
Yeah, you got to let your guard down.
Put your guard down. Right.
But I tell people all the time, your body language speaks more 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Versus what you actually
say.
Because you can say one thing and your body can say another thing, and you should listen to what the body is saying.
Exactly.
And I feel like, so I think sometimes I know when people are interested, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I could be a little off, but most of the time I'm dead on to know when someone's interested. But I think for me, like, I like attention, right? And I'm gonna get into all of that too. But when it comes to like showing your interest in me, like, I like consistency. I want to see somebody that's consistently, and when I say consistently pursuing me, like, not saying you gotta just go over and beyond.
Like this girl was just telling me that she's married, right? She's been married for 4 years. I said, how much do you pay to get your nails and your toes done? She said, I pay $150 every 2 weeks. She said, but my husband does it, and he's been doing it since we first start dating. That's consistency. That's consistency to me. That's like basically starting something and knowing that your woman loves that and is into that, and you continue.
Most people,
they drop the ball.
So I think most people in this world, they don't know what longevity is. They don't know what long term is. They are momentarily people. They are living the moment right then and there people. They are, I'm going to be this who I'm going to be today. I can't tell you who I'm going to be tomorrow.
Right.
That's kind of wishy-washy, and it's kind of scary because it's like I could fall in love with the person you are today, and tomorrow you're going to be different. Now, granted, as we grow and as we, years come by, we all grow and we evolve and we become these different people. But are you going to be so different to where I don't recognize who you are? Are you going to be so different to where the things that you started doing to get me, are you still going to continue to do that? Because I'm going to do what I did to get your attention, and I'm going to keep doing that because I'm not going to change who I am, because I am who I am through and through. I got it. Okay. Through and through. And so for me, it's like, but how do I get that? Because and the reason why I say that is because I can start dating someone and I can think they're into me. They're sending me my good morning texts. Thank you. I love those. We're going on dates. We don't have to go on dates every day because I don't got time.
Right.
But I do want to be, courted, and I do want to show that you show interest in me. I want to know that you consider me, and you included me, and you thought about me,
And also, because you give me my space as well, and you're okay with that.
Respectfully. We're going to get into all that. I got all that in these notes, right? But my thing is, how do I know that you're interested right on? I think the approach, because for me, that initial conversation is everything to me. That initial conversation is going to tell me like, oh, I can't wait to talk to him again. Oh, I can't wait to hang out with him again. It's something there. And I'm not saying sparks are flying, because I think that that's all fictional. But I do want to feel some type of attachment to you in that moment. Like, ooh, I like that about him.
Keep coming back.
That's gonna keep me going. Like, oh, I want to go on a date and get to know him more, because the goal is let's get to know each other more. But who are you? And my whole thing is, for me, don't start what you're not gonna do. Continue to do. Like, don't start sending me good morning texts if you're not gonna always send me a good morning text. Because if you send me a good morning text for a whole month and then all of a sudden you stop sending good morning texts, I'm gonna think something wrong with you. And what's happening?
And you were just doing it to get
to get me, because now that you know that I'm feeling you, I'm liking you, and then we
right now you got me to
next
feel
level.
You can treat me any kind of way. And
yeah,
then that's scary too, because then I don't want to see what other surprises there may be.
Exactly.
Because I'm stuck on the person you showed from the beginning.
Exactly.
So
it's kind of hard.
Tough.
So that brings me to the next question that I wanted to talk about, because, and the reason why I say show interest is because I feel like I think people rush the dating process, and I
definitely do. Let me just speak on that.
Why?
I definitely rush it in the beginning, and then it burns out very fast for me. I have commitment issues. I have commitment issues, honestly, and it's like it's a real excitement when I'm first dating a guy, especially if he's doing everything that I like, everything that I desire in a man. He's showing all of that, loving my kids, loving me, you know, just caring about the whole part of me.
Right.
So if he's doing that, and then in my mind, I start thinking like, it's too good to be true. Because sometimes I feel like I don't deserve that, and I kind of like mess that up for myself. So now, what my approach is now to the dating world now is I'm gonna take it slow as I possibly can, and not only that, I'm not gonna put one egg in one basket. I'm gonna date several. I am, because
the best man win.
It made the best man win, because I don't want, for me personally, I get attached to a guy, and then I have this image, this whole thing that I have of him.
You get attached too fast simply because you're putting too much into him at the beginning too fast.
Yeah, and then also I have a vision of who I want him to be, and not always that's who they are.
And sometimes that vision take over what you
actually see. Exactly.
Because you become blinded.
And then you either deal with it for many, many years of him not being the person you wanted him to be.
Although you're imagining in your head he is this person,
but he really never was that person, never was even capable of that.
Right, okay.
Or
do that.
You leave, and you leave and you don't wait to see what could happen. You know?
True.
So it's like it's a give and take. And then also with me, with my commitment issues, I'm still trying to figure out how to love myself. I'm still loving myself. I'm still learning how to love my kids. So when you come to me and you approach me, you have to be willing to sit back and look at me and say, this woman has been through some things. I need to be patient with her. You know what I'm saying? And then not always love bombing is the thing. I don't like being love bombed. Give me some space, because I've been through some things. I've had bad relationships. I've had good relationships. But at the end of the day, I'm still learning who I am. And then me being 40, I reflect on a lot of relationships that I had in the past. I asked myself the other day. No, I asked God. I said, God, were any of the guys that I ever came in contact with, ever had a kid with, were any of them my husband? You know what the response from God was? What if I told you that every man you dated was never the one, and you still haven't found the one? What would you do?
Wait.
You will wait in peace. Though you won't be waiting thinking like, oh my God, I gotta find a husband because I missed out on the other one.
But the waiting period is the most important period.
It really is.
And I tell people that all the time. It's what you do in the waiting period that will prepare you for what God is getting ready to bring toward you. It's so crazy how we'll ask God for things, but then we don't want to prepare ourselves in the waiting period. If I'm asking for something, I need to be prepared for what I'm asking for. So in the waiting period, you are preparing, you're healing, you're becoming whole, you're finding out who you are, what you like, what you don't like.
Wrong. And what you want to change within yourself.
You're figuring things out. And once because a very important question we must ask ourselves, would I marry me? Would I date me?
Would I date me?
And a lot of people don't want to ask themselves. A lot of men and women need to ask themselves, would I date the person?
And a lot of us need to go to therapy. Everybody. But we all need to start our healing journey.
The reason why I brought that question up is because when it comes to dating, I feel like people rush into it, but my thing is, there's a difference between us committing to dating and committing to one another and us casually dating. Like you said, you want to date a few people, whoever may the best man win. And I think that that's a great way to go about it. I don't know if I could do it because I've heard people tell me like, this is what I did, and then this person just kept doing it, and I was like, that's dope.
But
and
the
I
way
feel
I'm
like,
doing it that way because of what my experience
right,
is.
and because me and Buddha was on a podcast, and we were talking about how, and I feel like I want to be able to date multiple people, and when I say date, that doesn't mean we're about to be intimate sexually. No, that means we're gonna go on dates, we're gonna learn about each other, we're gonna get to know each other, and whoever I feel like I have the most connection with, the most, not just compatibility, but just someone that I can really connect with, and I'm interested in. He wants to vacation with you. He wants to build with you. Yes, someone that life with you. They want to be on the same wavelength as me. Like they want to be. We're headed in the same direction. Exactly. Because I don't want to be into someone that I want to date and they just want to play and they want to have fun and they're still in their playing phase and their whole stage. I don't have time for your stages. I need to know that somebody is on the serious path that I'm on, because this is where we're going. This life. This is where we're going. Real. So when I asked that question, it was like, because my next question to that question was, how long should you date someone before you make it official? How long do you casually date someone before you decide to make it official? Because I know you said earlier, you said you move fast, but now you're learning to move slow. So how long do you give yourself now?
I came across this girl who said that she started dating a guy. He was really good to her. She said he would take me out to nice dinners and everything, but I told him, I'm dating other people until you decide to make me your girlfriend. She said that the next day, he told her, get ready, get dressed, get really nice and pretty. I'm going to take you out to dinner. She showed the date and everything. They went out. He sent flowers. And in the flowers, she was asked to be his girlfriend. Okay, so when I look at that, I say to myself, that's where I want to be. That's where I'm headed. You either want this or you don't. It's not rocket science. I want to date multiple men because I want to make sure that I'm getting everything that I want.
How long would you do that for?
Date them?
How long do you
until
think
it's not fun anymore? How long should it take to know that if this is the person? I say, me personally, I don't know if you that person for me, or even you going to be in my life for the next 6 months within a month. I know, because at the end of the day, I'm so used to breaking it off and leaving the situation. And another thing that I do is I don't stand the test of time. Like, meaning, like, I don't see what could happen. I don't wait to see what's going to happen. When I see that you are disappointing to me, this is why I'm single. Because I see once you're disappointing to me, I don't have the patience to wait to see if you can fix these things, because I feel like there's just certain things men should have. Like, you should be considerate of a woman who has kids. You know, I have kids. You should be considerate of the fact that sometimes I'm a loner, and sometimes I like to be alone.
I think those are the things that I think that, so I agree with you. I feel like there's some things I'm willing to teach a man, and there's some things I'm not willing to teach a man.
I'm not going to teach you how to love me. If you don't know how to treat a woman, if I see you treat your mama how you treat women,
well, it's not that I don't
think you can learn from me.
I don't think that I'm not going to teach you how to love me, because I'm going to show you.
Show you. That's a difference.
Because I'm going to love the hell out of Sharon.
Right.
So and you good see that you're going to either match it or go above it. And you can't come any less than that. You're going to have to come hard or go home, right? So for me, I feel like there's certain things that we have to teach each other and we have to learn about each other. But there's certain things I'm not. I'm not about to teach you loyalty. I'm not about to teach you communication. Right. I'm not about to teach you respect. I'm not about to teach you kindness. Right. Like, you need to be kind to me because I'm going to be kind to you. You need to love me. You need to consider me.
And you need to speak life into me.
Period.
And you need to support everything that I have going on.
Because I'm going to do the same for you.
And love it, because I'm going to give you that same.
So when I say how long, like, for me, I think that I decided that I'm gonna slow down too. Like, when I date, I usually date exclusively. Like, if I'm dating someone, it's like this is the only person I'm dating.
That's all I want to be around.
Because for me, it's hard to spread my interests around.
Right.
It's hard for me to be completely interested in you, and then
kind of be talking to him,
dealing with all these people, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I've come to realize that I don't have to put
But that's
all of my
dating
energy
exclusively like
yeah,
that.
that's
though.
the
But
only
if you
way
doing
I've
coffee,
ever did.
that's different.
So now I'm at the point where I'm gonna talk to people, and I'm very open and upfront and honest. Look, this is where I'm at right now. I don't have a boyfriend.
Right.
You are not my man.
Right.
You're not my man, my man, my man. I am talking to people to see where what I want and who really wants me, because a lot of people talk and say that they want me, but your actions don't line up with what you're saying. And for me, I'm from the show me state. You gonna either show me, because I don't want to hear what you got to say.
Exactly.
I want to see what you got to say, because what you show me is what's real.
It could be the simplest things. I was dating a
Very
younger guy.
simple.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're
That's
gonna talk about
too.
it. I was dating a younger guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the issue with him was time. He had a lot of free time. I didn't. And then also, it was just certain things I'm not willing to teach you. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather date someone my age. I had to experience that, because we all do. I think every woman who turns 40 and she's single, she experiences it. But I think you should experience it to know. Younger guys, what I want. Younger guys are not for me, because I'm not in the business of teaching you.
Right.
You know? So I'm just free minded when it comes to just doing my own thing. And that's why I say date and go to get coffee, because when you start dating them every single day and you're calling them and talking to them every single day, I'm gonna just say this. I've always looked at it like this. I don't know you love me until you love me more than I love you.
So I don't know about that.
I feel like when I see a man and a woman and they're married, and you can tell, I'm not necessarily saying the woman don't love him as much, but you can really tell when a woman, and when a man is infatuated with his woman.
Well, I don't want you infatuated with me.
Not infatuated, but I mean like really into her.
I want you to be like, that's my woman. That's my
But in a soft way, though.
In a very soft way. Like, she's mine. And in a way that you want to cover me and you want to protect me. Exactly. And you want to make sure that I'm always okay, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like, you want to know that I'm well and that I'm in a happy place.
And I want
I'm
someone
in a peaceful place
who knows me so well that when certain things arises, even if he's not in my presence, he called me and say, "Baby, are you okay?"
Well, that comes with
just simple.
But that comes with more than just dating.
It does.
When I asked about how long do you think the dating phase should be, for me, I think, and this is just me, don't quote me on it, because y'all ain't gotta go with it. Y'all do what y'all do. Do
Everybody
what
got their own
do
way.
what works for you. Because
exactly.
I've heard a lot of stories of people meeting their person in high school and getting married straight out of high school, and they're still married to this day. Yeah. And I feel like kudos to them. You are blessed when you can find your soulmate at a very young age, and y'all longevity. You know what? I pray that God continue to bless your union. But some of us are not that fortunate. Some of us are in our 30s and our 40s, and we have not yet met our soulmate or our person, our forever. And it's okay, because we'll still have our time. I still got time to be married to my husband for 50 years from now. So I'm not in no rush. I've never been in a rush to get married. I've never been in a rush to be like, ooh, this gotta happen right now. I've been a girl where if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If it's don't, I'm gonna be okay with whatever it is. I've been in a good place, a happy place, and a peaceful place. But when it comes to dating, I feel like in my time now, I'm gonna give you anywhere from 2 to 3 months of me just dating before we either make it official or before we either walk away. I feel like in that 2 to 3 months, I'm gonna know, and these are the things that I wrote down that I need to know.
What do you need to know?
So I said within 2 to 3 months, I will know what I should know is if you're serious with the person or if not, or if we're going to remain friends. And this is what I said by the end of dating phase, you should know these 4 things: chemistry, core values, emotional maturity, and readiness. And the reason why I say that, and that's just in the dating part. The reason why I named these 3, and I'm going to break it down to you. Chemistry.
I like that.
Now,
readiness.
The reason why I say chemistry, because I'm so sorry, but we can't force. You cannot force chemistry.
It's not fun.
You either got it or you don't. You either can vibe with each other or you can't.
And you can't be in desperate mode, because you get that when you're in desperate mode.
Right. And I'm not saying the awkward pause moments and the awkward quietness, because you're going to have those moments
just
even
people,
when you
just
when
a
you
person
in a long
you just don't have nothing in common
Right.
with.
But I feel like some things are just forced. And for me, I cannot force myself to like you. I cannot force myself to be interested in you. I cannot force this chemistry. Chemistry is absolutely real. I cannot force it. And I ain't gonna pretend. And I told you I stopped flirting with people just for fun. That ain't gonna work, right? So I stopped doing that. So I feel like chemistry, and I'm not saying this is everything. I'm saying within that dating mode, you should know if you have chemistry with that person. You should know, okay, this is a person that's my friend, or this is a person that's gonna be my man. Mm-hmm. You gonna know. That's the chemistry part.
You even could know if this is the potential husband for you.
Because
I'm like this. I'm gonna look at your finances. I'm gonna look at how you run your finances. I'm gonna look at if you have kids, what type of parent you are. Mm-hmm. I want to know what type of relationship you have with your mm-hmm. parents. It's like all of these things that you really have to study a person. You have to really get to know a person on. You can get all that in 3 months.
You can.
You really can.
You really can.
You really can.
You really can.
So I dated a man, Marco. I dated Marco for 6 months. Mm-hmm. Marco was the best. You know what he said to me? What bills you have? Let me pay them. I didn't have no bills. I was living with my mama. But he said, let me pay your bills. He paid my bills. He took me out every Saturday. The perfect man, right? But you know what the issue was with him? Never, not once, when he came to pick me up from my mother's house, did he say, I'm going to go upstairs and meet your mother. Mm-hmm. Or, let me meet your kids. Bought me a house and everything. Was in love with me. But when I seen the vision of me and him, I didn't see my kids. And that's an issue for me.
Right.
And then if he asks me now, what happened between me and you back then in 2017, I will tell him, you show no interest in my kids. So you're doing all these wonderful things for me, paying my bills, like taking me out, Valentine's Day, big balloons, all that. But you never, ever asked about my daughter and my son. You never did. They were right upstairs. You never bring them down.
I mean, but that's why the dating phase is so important. Like, first, of course, I talked about the chemistry, and then you need to know somebody's core values. What do they value?
And their intentions with you.
What are their morals? What are the intentions is later. That's what my readiness is. Give me time to get there.
Gotcha.
The core values, because what a person values say a lot about who they are. Mm-hmm. It says a lot about who they are. You have people that value their money, value their material things, value their car. I need someone that value their family, value how they carry themselves, value how they treat other people. I need your values to be of God. I need your values to be kind and be considerate. I don't want to be with somebody that's rude, disrespectful, and big-headed and real conceited.
And not only to me, but to other people too.
To other people, yeah. Because I want to know how I want to know what your values are. I think that is so important. How you value things, like, and even going back to one of the things you said, how you manage your money. Because if I'm looking to marry you, I need to know that you are responsible enough to take care of stuff, because I'm one of those people that pay my bills well in advance.
Right.
And so I need to know, are you like a late payment type of person? Because
I'm not
living without hot water, lights and gas and heat and all that. Like those are necessities to me.
They are.
Because I need to know how you manage your money. Are you a gambler? Or are you a drunken? Or are you a drugger? Like, I need to know what things do you value. Do you value more hanging out with your boys than you do with your family? I need to know what your values are. I need to know, do you believe in working or sitting your butt at home playing a video game all day? I need to know what your values are.
I also need to know what your stand on as far as where women stand in your life. Some men look at women as you belong in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Some men look at women as, baby, you can be whatever you want. I'm here to support. I got your back. So you just have to wade through it.
And I feel like these are the things that y'all need to be getting to know. In those 2 to 3 months, these are the things that y'all need to be figuring out. Do y'all be so caught up and ready to have sex and ready to go on vacation and do all that stuff?
You guys need to do it too. You guys need to value yourselves more too.
Facts. And you know what? That's a fact, because a lot of men right now are facing so many traumatic situations in their marriages because they did not really get to know the person. They did not find that they're married to people that they didn't have chemistry with, didn't have the same values with, wasn't ready. Like, these people, like I said this on this other podcast, how a lot of these men create these monsters of wives, y'all they don't have to
And
work,
we're
they don't have
better.
to do nothing, they don't have to, and now y'all like, well, I don't feel appreciated.
Right.
Well, you didn't even require them to do none of this stuff at the beginning, and now all of a sudden you working, you paying all the bills, you doing all, and now you want them to appreciate you, even though they should, but you didn't set that as a boundary or a standard in the beginning.
And that's
so
scary.
what you stand, that's why I feel like people need to set their boundaries and say what their standards are. This is what I'm not going to tolerate.
Right.
This is what I'm willing to tolerate.
Right.
If you do this, I'm not willing to agree. I'm not marrying that.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things I always say. I said I've met a lot of people, but some of the things I'm not willing to marry that. And that's something you can't change. That's something you're not willing to change. Which also comes to my next core thing that I feel like you need to know. You need to know their emotional maturity, their level of maturity,
communication skills.
And I say maturity because a lot of people are very immature in certain areas of their lives.
I'm gonna speak on my immaturity when it comes to relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Me, what I feel I need to do, when I'm in a disagreement with the man that I love, my thing is I come from a woman. Sorry, Mom. But I come from a woman who I've seen curse men out. So as I grew up, I thought that was the way to do it. You want to get your point across, you yell, you scream, you curse. Mm-hmm. So now the way I choose to do it is, I don't want you doing it to me because I don't want to do it to you. But I'm also looking at myself and within myself and like, listen, a lot of your relationships, not only with a man, just relationships, period.
Right.
With just your family, friends, everybody. You can work on your communication skills. Right. You can work on standing the test of time and talking things out. You know, that's the way you get through things, talking things out and communicating with one another and being able to have that space, that safe space with each other. You know,
but that's where you have the conversation to see if they can even handle a mature conversation. Because what I found that's out is, and I said it before, you guys heard it before. I always talk about how a lot of people can't have a disagreement type of conversation and feel like everything is still okay. We don't have to agree for the conversation to still be healthy.
Right.
We don't have to sit here and be like, yeah, we agree. No, because sometimes I'm going to be like, I'm going to respect everything you got to say and I'm going to hear you. Right. And I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to try to see it from your point of view. That does not mean
no judgment.
And that doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it.
Right.
Though. But it also doesn't mean that we are at odds with each other because we don't agree on this situation.
Don't agree with it.
But at some point, even though I heard you, you heard me, let's come to a common ground on how we're going to move forward with this situation in particular. And for me, people be like, well, you know, we had an argument, we ain't never did this. That's not always a good thing. I'm not saying argue. What I'm saying is y'all have to come to a point where y'all disagree and figure out how y'all going to get through that disagreement together. How are you going to handle it? Are they going to go back and tell their mama, their cousin, their brother, their sister, everything that happened? Or are we going to deal with this together? How does this relationship work? Or is it me and you, and when things happen, we communicate with each other? Or do I have to find out how you feel about what I did from somebody else? Let me know, because I've been there. So my thing is, I learned to be patient and I wait to look. And I'm not looking for things, but I'm looking at how we handle the adversity, how we handle disagreements, how we handle maneuvering through certain situations. If this happened and this happened, how do we get through it? Do we argue? Do we throw words at each other? How do we do it? Because I'm big on not cursing at my man.
Right.
I've never been the one where I'm going to curse you out. I'm never going to fuss you out. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move accordingly. I'm going to communicate with my words in the most respectful way. When I talk to my men, I humble myself and I talk to them as if they are a human being, and I talk to them in the way that I want them to talk to me. Right. Now you turn up on me, you're going to see a whole nother side. So I advise you to follow my lead. Right. Not like that, but
no.
But
let's
follow
stay
my
on the
lead.
Same track.
Because I could go there. I tell people all the time, I choose not to be that way because that's all I know.
You go there, I go to hell.
And we don't need that.
We don't need that.
So that's why I say in that time, the things that we need to be looking for, a lot of times people don't look for. And then when they get in these committed relationship, now we're officially together. And now he is or she is.
And it's
but
just too
you
much.
didn't see that at the beginning. You never dealt, because everybody's rushing into these relationships. They go on 1-2 dates. Oh, I want you to be my girlfriend. You don't even know me. I could be absolutely crazy.
I can be an insane lunatic.
I can be crazy. So I feel like I need to know. And when I talk about maturity, I need to know how you handle situations.
Right.
What happens when you're stressed out? How do you act when you're sick? You big ass baby.
Honestly.
Like, I want to know.
What type of attitude you have in the morning? Are you a morning person? Do you not want me to talk to you?
Not even that,
morning?
but do you, like, how do you even deal with things that are stressors? Because we all deal with stressors all the time. Do you disappear and you want to be by yourself?
Do you pray?
But do you communicate, hey, I need some time?
A minute.
Or do you just
disappear?
you
lash out on me because you want me to get away from you?
Or do you just go?
That's your.
So there's different ways.
It is.
But you want to know, because I want to know, like, when you going through something, are you going to let me know, like, hey, babe, I just need a minute?
It's all in it. Are you going to be jealous of my relationship with my children? Are you going to be jealous of my relationship with God? Because a lot of men are. Are you going to be? Because
not even men, women, shit.
Women too.
Women
are
horrible.
Be controlling. They are. They are. Because women,
we are. Because no, that's a fact. Because a lot of women are jealous of men in their relationship with other people. Like
they are.
Like for me, like, and this is my truth, and this is my honest to God truth. I have a boy best friend and I have a girl best friend, and there's nothing in this world I would trade any of them for anything. When I get my husband, I want him to be confident.
How is a husband gonna really fit into your life though?
But how is he not?
You know what? Because you're gonna find one who's gonna understand and who's gonna accept.
But
your
this is
people.
the thing. This is the thing. It's not even just about accepting my people. What you have to understand is this: my people don't consume all of my day. My people, they don't even consume all of my week. Those are just my people.
Right.
My best friend is married.
Right.
He's a married man and he's happily married. My thing is, my thing is, my husband is going to be so confident in the relationship that him and I have. Mm-hmm. This bond and this connection and this compatibility and this communication and this loyalty and this love and this commitment amongst him and I, nobody going to be able to come between that.
Right.
He's going to know that he's the one. Ain't nobody got that.
Right.
I'm going to make sure he's confident in that, because that's what I'm going to get. That's what I'm going to always project. Mm-hmm. So I don't ever want him to feel insecure about anything. However, if there is some type of insecurities he has, it's about how you approach me with it. Come to me, talk to me, tell me what you feeling. Don't attack me, though.
Let's speak on the Kiki Palmer situation.
I don't want to talk about them.
No, just really quick. Like, for instance, he felt the need to, like, speak on what she had on over social media. That, to me, that was his insecurities coming out. Had he waited till this woman got home, hey, babe, that kind of just made me feel like, you know, a certain type of way with you on Usher like that. Then she probably would have said, oh, babe, I understand. I'm sorry if that make you feel uncomfortable. I know next time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the simplest things. Like, how do you handle that kind of stuff?
Right. It's the community. And now that was a good point, because do you go to social media?
Are you going to social media?
Because that's how a lot of people,
they handle their stuff.
They go to social media, they act out. You really gonna act out on social media when you could have just talked to me?
Right.
At the same time, but others could argue, did you even think that was appropriate when you got a whole man at home?
Right.
You know, everybody has different arguments.
Has faults.
And the reason why I say that is because, like,
everybody got responsibility.
Because, and I even said on the last show, because people was saying all of that, and I was on the show with my brother, and I was like, well, just like, I think for women and men it's different, because when Chance the Rapper was at that little festival and the girl was dancing on him, they was like, oh, that's so inappropriate, you're married, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, okay, y'all made a big fuss about him inappropriate because he got a woman, and then y'all say it's okay, she do it because she got a man.
Right.
Like, make it make sense.
Right.
So I think that there's a double standards in a lot of situations, and I feel like there shouldn't be any double standards. I feel like the standards that we hold men to, we should hold women to, and the ones we hold women to, we should hold men to. Because it's a give and take.
It is.
I'm gonna project what I want, and you're gonna give me what I project. So if I want this and you want this, we need to both give it.
Right.
That's how I feel, and I feel like. And then in the dating, in that 2 to 3 months, I feel like you should know if you're ready. What are you ready for? Because and I had talked about
you know who I want to approach me? I want a man to approach me that's specifically ready for his wife. Even if I'm not his wife. But I want to date a man who's ready for his wife.
Right.
I'm 40, so I kind of want to date 40, 45. Mm-hmm. At that age, you would expect men to be on that mental level where they're looking for their wife.
Right.
So even if I'm not her, just still court me, approach me as if you wanted me to be your wife.
And there's nothing wrong with. I think that that's a good thing. That's why I talk about when I say readiness. In that 2 to 3 months. I'm not saying they have to propose to you in 2 to 3 months.
They don't even have to know
What
for sure
I'm
if they
saying-
want to marry you. But it could be
Not
in the
marry me.
ballpark.
It's not about marrying me. It's about, are you
Are
searching
we, are
for
we on the track to eventually?
not us being on the track, just are you? What? Because some
Because
people,
we be
because
here.
some men just want to have fun.
Yeah, they
they
just
want to
want
play.
fun.
They just want a girlfriend. And some men are searching to get married.
Right.
They want a wife. And some men just want to have sex. So my thing is, when I ask you, what are you dating for? What's your purpose? You gotta know what that person's purpose and pursuit is.
Right.
Because in 2 to 3 months, I should know what you about. I should know if you just trying to play and have fun.
Right.
We not about to do that, because I can have fun with my husband.
Right.
I could play with my husband.
Exactly.
I could date my husband.
And I can save my body and my mind and my temple
Don't
for
waste
my
your
husband.
time. Exactly. So I feel like in that time you won't waste it. You don't have to add all these bodies to your list of people that
Right.
you've been with, when you could just simply date someone, date them to get to know them, to see if they are a prospect for someone that you're willing to spend your life with. No, and don't rush into it and just be wanting to have somebody just to have somebody. Wait and see, because maybe you're not compatible to them. Maybe you really
we're
don't even
talking
like
about,
them.
But you know what? Maybe we're talking about relationships back in the day. Because now, 2023, relationships is different. The dating pool has piss in it. Period. Let's just call it what it is.
Well, it always had piss in it.
It always did, but now it got shitty piss in it. It's bad, because when you date a guy, now when my friend was telling me, she was like, I'm talking to this guy, immediately, he straight out tell her, I just want sex. What you want? Straight up.
No,
and
but
it's like,
I would love a man like that.
no, you know what she said? He freaked me. I said, girl, he was upfront. You knew
He
what
was
his intentions
honest, and you don't get honesty from
You
people.
give him a hug and you keep it pushed.
You don't get honesty from. I would have been like,
Thank
you
you.
know what?
I
You a real
appreciate
one.
that.
I would have been like, let's dap it up for
Right.
that. Because let me tell you something. You don't find people that
Don't waste
real.
my time.
Don't waste my time. Like, you will have a man pursuing you. He gets you, and then I'm in this situation.
Sometimes
and
I
I'm
even
in
do
this,
that. I'm not gonna lie.
And I think that is the most disrespectful thing you could do, is you could try to pursue someone, act like you're ready for someone, then you get someone, and now you got all these issues and situationships. You either still married, you either still got a girlfriend, you're about to have a baby. Like, it's a bunch of
You know what
BS.
I read? I read that a man does not know if he officially a man knows what he's going to do with you after he have intercourse with you. I read that before, that a man does not really know how he feel about you until after that.
I don't agree with that.
No,
I don't agree with that, because
you don't feel like sometimes a man can be soft and sweet in the beginning, and then when you have sex it changes.
The thing is this, I think that a lot of people put their representative up. Nobody comes to you.
Even I do that though.
And I don't, because I'm at the point where I'm too old for that shit.
Like,
because I want you to see what you gonna get up front. Like, people be like, you eat on the first day? I eat on every day. If you gonna take me out to eat, I'm eating. My thing is, I don't have time to play with it. Yes. I don't have time to play with it.
No, you gotta see me eat.
You gotta see me raw and real.
Right.
I don't have time to.
You ain't gonna see me without my
I've
wig,
even
though.
grown out of the being shy thing. Like, I can't afford to be shy and be quiet, because then you're gonna think I'm quiet and I'm shy and you can run over me, because then I'm gonna show you real quick you got me fucked up.
I've been through that before too, where they think like where I'm being the nice sweet girl that I think they want me to be, and then they think that they can like do whatever they want.
But the thing is this,
and then it's like, okay, see, now you're gonna see the real me. But it's like, where was this person at the beginning?
But it's not that, and this is the thing, it's not that we're not nice and sweet, because I'm still gonna be nice and I'm still gonna be sweet, because naturally that's who I am. However, I'm not about to be like timid or shy or afraid to say what I'm gonna say. No, if we're gonna sit here and have a conversation, I'm gonna be raw and real and honest. And a lot of people don't like that. And I started to be raw and real and honest in a respectful manner. But people will ask questions that they really don't want to know the answer to. And I'm gonna give you the truth. You ask me a question regarding whatever this situation is, I'm gonna be real and honest, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. If you say, "Oh, we just friends," okay, I'm gonna move accordingly, just friend.
That's what it is.
Oh, you gonna throw that up in my face? No. I'm gonna move accordingly, and just friend.
And we can go out again, friend. You know, when the girl said, when she said, I told him, I will continue to date until you ask me to be your girlfriend. When he said, get dressed, get ready, because he already knew, guess how long they've been dating? They had been dating for 8 months and a half.
Mm-hmm.
He had already knew he wanted to make her his girlfriend. But he did not ask. And no, you know what she did not do? What I love that she did not do? Take it upon herself and put it in her mind that they were. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us do that. Get off the phone. A lot of us do that. And that's one thing I respected with her. I said, oh my God, I like that way of dating because to me it's upfront. It's honest.
Right.
And also, this is what you're getting. This is me. This is what you get. You either want it or you don't.
Right.
And he showed that he wanted it, and he went and he got it. And I said,
but I think but this is the thing. That's just a person with a made up mind. He, first of all, he already knew that he was dating with a purpose. He knew that whoever he was going to date, he was dating in a purpose of becoming my girlfriend, becoming my wife. He wasn't dating just to be playing. Because there's a lot of guys out here who do desire to be married and be in a healthy relationship and be committed. There's some people out there. It's just that sometimes we come across the ones that don't. And that's okay because you got to go through the pack to get to the right one. And it's okay.
Okay, but damn. The pack is a lot.
But my thing is that's why I'm in the season of saying no thank you, because I don't feel like I need to waste my time with just everybody.
You know what? You can't even get no thank you to me. I'm just going to do this to you. Move.
See, that's rude. I won't do it. I won't do it. No, I won't.
Because because
I'm not rude. Because the thing is, I wouldn't want somebody to be rude to me. Just tell me no thank you. Just tell me you're not interested. You know what the thing is? Because communication is key.
You know what the thing is, though? I'm 40. My patience is
that ain't
gone.
got nothing to do with it. You've been that way all your life.
Listen.
Yeah, you never said just no thank you. You always been that. Like, what? That ain't got shit to do with 40.
Okay, well, now I would say my patience with men is shorter because of what I experienced with them.
But that's why you need to heal.
Exactly. And that's why I'm not dating right now.
And that's
because
good.
I am on my healing path. I am on like you said, would I want to marry me? Would I want to spend the rest of my life with me? And the answer is hell to the no.
And even if you are able to answer that question out there, would you marry you? Would you date you? And you would say yeah. The follow-up question to that is why? What values do you present? What do you bring
for life? Because marriage is forever.
Why? Like, why?
What qualities
do you have?
What do you bring to the table?
Feel like you are it? And I'm gonna tell you right now, real close, because it goes far beyond. Oh, you could cook. It goes far beyond. Oh, you could clean. Mm-hmm. It goes far beyond. Oh, you look good and you dress well
and you good in bed.
It goes far beyond what sex game you got. We know you good. Congratulations.
Right.
But what do you bring goes far beyond just those things. You understand me? Because when you become in a committed marriage, covenant relationship, you have to understand both of our worlds, our individual worlds have to combine. And we have to figure out how to make these two lives combine in one household and make it work. And make sure no one's lacking. Yeah. The lacking part. We have to make sure each person is feeling appreciated, wanted, loved, respected. We have to make sure, because a lot of people get in situations and only care about how they feel out the situation. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get in situations and only care about what they're getting out of it and what somebody's doing for them.
Feel.
But how about how do you make them feel? Do you make them feel special? Do you make them feel wanted? Do you make them feel loved, appreciated? Like, what are you bringing other than cooking, cleaning, and good sex and looking good? Because that stuff sure do fade away. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and I've already requested for God to ask my husband to love to cook. I want him to love to cook and know how to cook very, very well. Because yes, I'm gonna cook for my husband. We all know these things, but I need to be able to add to his peace. I need to be able to pray for him. I need to be able to cover him. I need to be able to hold him up. Because life be life. And what if we lose a parent? Mm-hmm. How are we gonna cover each other and keep each other and push each other?
How do you deal with those type of difficult
But what if he gets ill and falls on hard times? Mm-hmm. Are you gonna keep this flow of keeping our household up? Are you gonna make sure the bills are paid? Right. Are you gonna be able to, be the helpmate that he needs? Because shit happens. And I'm not hoping anything happened to any of our relationship.
But you have to consider those
but
things.
You have to consider that. What do you bring? What are you an asset or a liability? Because just because you give good sex, you can still be crazy as hell, or you can still be driving somebody insane,
and
you can be stressing people out.
You could just be unfit.
And there's so many people that are unfit, and there's so many people that are married to people that are unfit, and it's because you didn't do your homework. You didn't date with intention. You didn't date with purpose. You didn't date.
You dated out of desperation,
and you didn't date with knowing their core values. Because there's no way that you can now all of a sudden y'all get married and you now realize that
you like, oh my God, I didn't know he did this type of stuff.
And you didn't know.
I didn't know he leaving shoes in the living room.
Or
I didn't know he leaving drawers in the bathroom.
Not even just that, because some of us don't know what they do because we don't live with them. But even more so is more important things is. You didn't know that he didn't want you around his family, or he don't want you to go hang out with your friends and stuff like that. Like, it goes far beyond. It goes beyond that. Because
how do you respond when you're in a difficult, tough situation? Do you lash out, or do you go to your peaceful state, or do you pray? Like, I want to know what are the things that you do to deal with difficult
that's
times.
why,
like,
you're
for instance, the reason I want to know this. The reason I want to know this is because when I'm dealing with a difficult situation. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be talked to. I want to deal with that on my own. But if you have a partner with you, you have to learn to come as one, and you guys have to deal with it and work through things together.
Even that, you have to learn to communicate, because even when you have to understand this, even when you're in a relationship, you're dating, you're married, whatever the case may be, you are still an individual human being.
You are.
And
some of us lose sight of that.
Knowing that you are an individual human being, it is very appropriate to always communicate what you feel, what you need. Because there's going to be moments where you need a minute to yourself, where you need to separate yourself, even if it's for an hour or two. You need to be able to communicate that. You can't just separate yourself and go mute and go quiet and not communicate that. When you are in a committed relationship, you need to communicate, hey, look, I'm having a rough time. All I need right now. Tell me what, because I'm that person. What do you need? What do you need me to do? All I need is a minute. What's a minute? I just need a few hours to myself just to think this through. And you got it. I'm going to be on my end praying. Call me when you need me. Call me if you need something else. Because what we like to do is we like to nag and what's wrong? Men, you have to understand how your men operate. Men are not good with stressors. Like, sometimes they need to isolate themselves from the world to work through these issues in their head that's going on, and they don't want to have to communicate. They don't want answers from you. They just need a minute to think it through. So you need to understand how your man communicate or how your woman communicate.
And sometimes like you don't need to just rush into fix it mode and think you can fix it.
It's not about fixing
it. It can cause conflict.
Like you said, sometimes you want to just be by yourself and you want to work. You need to be able to communicate that to your man. Like, look,
and it's not you. I just need
and received in a right way, because you don't want to take it like, well, oh, he acted funny or she acted funny. No, this is just how they work through things. Now, as we grow older together and become more than just dating, hey, we need to figure out a way that we can work through this together.
Right.
We need to find better coping mechanisms. Let's figure
marriage,
this thing
it's
out
not going to
together.
last with marriage. That dynamic's not going to last when it comes to a marriage.
And that's true. So you have to figure these things out. And what I'm saying is, if you're dating with purpose, you will find these things. You're not going to find all of this out, but you will find the key things that you need to know, as if, oh, this could go forward, or no, this just needs to be friendship. Because there's been people that I've met and I'm like, man, they're so dope. And then after like really talking to them, I'm like, yep, we're just going to be friends. Yeah. And I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that, because we're better off as friends.
But they don't, because they feel like you leading me on.
No, it's not about leading you on, because if you, my thing is this, I'm not keeping no secrets. I'm upfront with people at the beginning. This is a date. We're not dating.
Right.
I say it all the time. I'd be like, this is not, or even if I'm going out with the people that I've labeled as friends, you could ask them. I'd be like, this is not a date. Yes, it is, Shrine. No, it's not. This is two friends out having a good time.
Enjoying each other's time.
We are not on a date.
Right.
And I have to make that very clear, because I don't want someone to put me into a position or put me in a title that I don't want to take on. I'm not your girlfriend. We're not dating.
Right.
We are on a friendship celebration.
We're not doing the love bomb.
We're not doing all of that. Right. We're not doing all of that.
Let me graduate into.
Let's get to that. Now, one of the questions I had that I didn't get, there's two questions I had, but you pretty much already answered them, but I'm gonna ask it for you guys. So if y'all want to leave a comment in the comment, let me know. One of the questions I had was, would you continue to date someone who showed no interest in your children? And then the other one was, would you date younger than you are? Why or why not? So she already answered that she has dated someone younger. It wasn't for her. Just so happened the person that she dated wasn't on the same wavelength as her. He had too much time available. Blah, blah. So there's different things, because I know a lot of women and men who date younger, and it's perfectly fine and it works, and they end up married. So everybody's situation is very, very different.
We all need different things from another person when it comes to love. I think we all need certain things. Like, for instance, me, when you date me, you have to, it's certain things, like, I'm working on these things though. Don't get me wrong, because I don't want to just say, this is me, accept me. That's not what I want. But I'm working on these things. But I want you to also know that I have these things and I am working on them, but be patient with me. But then some things you just cannot be patient with. Some things you just like, some things I just do not have the time, the energy, and the space to teach you. So I just want somebody who can stand on the sideline. Don't overcrowd me. Would you date a guy who, if you're out with your friends and then he call you and say, come home, and then would you leave your friends and go and be with him? Would you?
You asking me?
I'm asking you that right now. Like if you.
So I get what you're saying. So this is the thing.
I can't have that control.
The thing is this. I don't like to be told what to do, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Because I'm not saying that I'm not submissive, because I'm going to be a very submissive wife to a man that submits to God, that honors me, protects me, and covers me.
You gonna get it all, babe.
But the thing is, the question that you're answering, I don't want to answer just yet, because I have in a minute.
Okay.
We only got a little bit of time left, but in a minute I'm gonna go into it, because I wanted to talk about healthy dating.
Got it.
And I have some tips on healthy dating that I jotted down.
Okay.
And I feel like that falls under the umbrella of healthy dating.
Right.
If my husband needs me, and there's something that he needs, then yes, I'm willing to leave.
Yeah.
But if you just want to have control over me, that's an absolute fucking no.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the person that's like blinded by what I see. I pay attention to red flags, and you will see early on if your man or your woman is controlling. If they don't want you around your friends and all of that. I don't have time for the child. To me, that's childish play. You either gonna trust me and know who I am as a human being, or we ain't gonna do this.
No.
Period. Because I don't have time.
But then some women were saying, as I was reading the comments, some women, this girl said, my boyfriend pays every bill up in our house, so yes, I'm leaving. Then another woman said, my husband pay every bill up in our home, and I'm not leaving.
Because
if he doesn't need me, I'm not leaving.
Right. You just don't want me to be with my friends.
Where I was going, right.
So there's a difference. That's why I said that there's a difference. If there's a need, whether he pay all the bills or not, if there's a need, I'm on my way.
Right.
Because it could be like, hey, something just happened. Oh, I'm on my way. You don't even got to ask.
Let me tell you the difference between the boyfriend and the husband, though. The girlfriend said, if I did not leave, when I get home, it was going to be problems. The wife said, if I didn't leave, it wouldn't be no problems when I get home. My husband will say, babe, you was right. I should have just waited for you. You were coming home anyway. So
it's about your person.
It's about your person. It's very important. Who you marry and who you spend around. Now, baby girl, the girlfriend will end up marrying him, thinking it's cute, thinking she's okay with leaving because he say so. Then when you get married,
the problem only gets bigger.
This is your life.
The problem gets bigger. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, y'all think that marriage and kids changes the problem. It just enhances the problem.
It does.
It makes it huge and big. So back to the question of would I date younger? I feel like I don't really put an age on dating. For me, I whether I date younger or older, I don't really put an age on the dating scene. Now, probably won't date a little ass kid.
Yeah.
No, it's not my thing. But I do want to date a man that is mature, mentally, physically, emotionally. I want him to be mature. I want him to be able to handle intellectual conversations. I want him to handle deep water conversations. I want him to be able to have a disagreement and we still love it on each other and respect each other and still want to be around each other. Because I've had the people that I dated and we have a small, tiny disagreement, and half of the time I didn't even know we was disagreeing and shit, and he still got an attitude and want to act funny and don't want to hang out. And I'm like, dang, okay, you in a mood. So now I call him moody.
A little sassy.
He a little moody, and I don't want to call you no bad names, but you a little moody, and you're more moody than I am, and I'm the one that had a menstrual, but I ain't gonna say nothing. So that's how I be. Like, for me, I don't feel like love, companionship, compatibility, and chemistry have an age on it.
No.
When it comes to numbers. Now
there's
certain things that is appropriate, but
some women can really find their forever.
I dated a guy that was younger than me
40,
before, though.
She's in love with her boyfriend, and he's 26. But she says,
I think it's amazing.
She says, I said, where he come from, though? She said, what do you mean? Where he come from? What is his mother and his father like? She said they've been married for over 30 years. I said, see,
he come from a
he
solid.
has the representation is everything.
Is solid.
It's solid.
That's what's up.
So she said he courts me, Vicky. Like he does. Like, hey, babe, I made plans for us to do this. We're gonna go and do this. You just get ready. Like things like that. And I was like, wow. I said you pretty much came. I said you pretty much got someone who came from a good family. He probably has a really good dad.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take.
That's a blessing, and it's very rare that we could find someone or someone find us that's that committed, that's ready, and not only was brought on that foundation, was taught on that foundation, but actually execute that type of foundation. Because a lot of these young men have been taught the right way, and they still choose to be fuckboys. You know, it's a lot of women who were taught the right way, and they still choose to be lazy and you know, disrespectful and all of that. So we can't really always blame it on the household or the home or the parents, because sometimes people just genuinely are who they choose to be.
You be who you are.
We could all be raised in the same exact household, and we'll all turn out absolutely different, because all of our perceptions of what we saw could be absolutely different. So we can't really blame it or fault it on that. But I'm happy for her. And thank God that he, you know, have that foundation, and he knows what he wants even at a young age. That's why I say age has nothing to do with it. It's just that who you are. It's just either your person is your person or they're not your person. And it's okay to figure that out.
Because some things might not work for you, and that's but they work for the other person.
And that's okay. So, and then the next follow-up question. Will you continue to date someone that shows no interest in your child? And the reason why that question came about is simply because I have witnessed so many women put their children on the back burner just to be in a relationship, just to be with a man, and it's and for me, I'm not even dating a man that don't take care of his own kids. If you, and I'm not talking about being a weekend dad or sending money just because, no, I mean, if you are not actively a participant in your child's life, you will not be an active participant in my life. That's an absolute no. And if I did have my actual own children that I gave birth to, and you came into my life and you did not consider them, then that means you don't consider me, because they are a part of who I am, and everything that I am involves them. And if you don't consider us as a package, then you don't care. I say that because I have this one friend, and she's so amazing, and she has this amazing boyfriend who, when I say he literally you wouldn't even know that child is not his, because no matter what happens, we're taking him on dates too, we're taking him here, and he said he wants to go here, we're doing this. It's like he is the forefront, he comes first. It's like he literally your child first.
This guy was asking me to go out with him, and I said, I have a 2-year-old. You know what he said? Well, let's go somewhere where he can go. And right there, I was interested, and I'm gonna talk on this subject because I'm a mother. I'm a mother, and I'm a mother who has done it.
Okay.
You understand? So I can speak from experience when it comes to that, and it is one of the most horrible things a woman can do. You lose sight of who you are. You lose who you are for real, and you just walking around in a daze, and you have this man who you just desire. And what you failing to realize is you have a hurt child out in this world who feels neglected, who feels like there's no love for them when you brought that child into this world. So it's one of the things that I have done, and it's one of the things that I will never ever do again, because not only did it ruin my relationship with my child, it ruined me, and it ruined a relationship with my child and her sibling. It's not only you who's been affected by it. It affects everybody. It's a domino effect. It affects everyone. And then that's one of the hardest relationships to repair with your child, is when you put another man from it. Because sometimes you could just be an awful mother. You know, you could just be a bad mother. But when that man come, when you put another human being before your child, it makes it almost impossible if you don't work your ass off to fix it. It makes it almost impossible to heal that. So that's one thing you do not want to do. Is if you love your children. I'm not talking to those women who doesn't have the mother instincts. I'm talking to the mothers. If you do not love your child, then that's okay, do it. But if you love your child and you want to come back to your child, be the biggest mistake you could ever make.
I think that's good. I think that's excellent.
So where me and Deja is right now, or just period, we are rebuilding. We're repairing. You know what I mean? Because just like I told her, I made mistakes and I want you to forgive me, and I will never ever do that again. So nothing comes between building what me and her have.
That's
nothing.
Good.
Because I felt that too as a kid. You know, like I was put second. So I know exactly how she feels. And I would never want her to feel like that. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So, like I said, we're in the process of rebuilding, repairing. It takes years. We started in 2017. We still are not where we want to be. Now we're talking about doing mother-daughter retreats together, where we get other mothers and daughters who have experienced what we've experienced together, and we come and we talk, and we heal through those things.
Right.
Because I'm not the type of mother that's like, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. No. Yes, I did. You know what I'm saying? And I regret it, and I'm gonna stand in it. Period. I'm gonna take a full accountability for it because I want to make it better.
Right.
You know? So it's one of the things that any woman that's dealing with that, if you're dealing with a man who does not love your kids, I suggest you run. And now that is completely a deal breaker for me. I didn't even realize I was learning in that process as well. Because Marco, God showed me. Marco was everything I dreamed of. Everything I dreamed of. But for some reason, I could not get out of that. He don't want my kids. You have to want my kids.
Right.
You know, so
I think that's a good thing. I feel, and you guys know I did a whole show on accountability. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's really good. But taking accountability for the things that you've done, it helps you to grow.
It does.
It helps you to heal. It helps you to see things from another light that you never saw before. And it makes you realize, okay, because in life we all gonna mess up. We all gonna fall short. We all gonna drop the ball. We all gonna do something that is not pleasing to everyone. But at the same time, it's just how you come back from it. I'm so excited about my sister and my niece building their bond and building their relationship, because that is so necessary. So that's just a message to anybody out there who's ever experienced that. If you have children, and like she said, if you love them, don't put anyone else before them. Take care of them, love them, protect them, cover them. But if you have already done that, it's not too late for you to fix it now. Fix it now. And I'm saying that because I've witnessed so many people allow men to treat their kids bad. Not just, your situation, but I've witnessed women allow these men to treat their kids bad.
Beat them, kill them.
All of the above. We see it in the media all the time. Like, if you do not want these children, if you do not love them the way that they need to be loved, please give them to someone that will love them and protect them and cover them until you get in your right state of mind. And sometimes you don't know. And sometimes it's hard to face your truth. But look in the mirror. Don't be ashamed. And just be like, look, I have to do better. I got to fix it. I tell y'all all the time. I talk to myself all the time. I be like, Sharon, fix your attitude. You need to get your shit together.
Yep.
Like, I talk to myself because sometimes you have to be the one that give yourself the reality check. Like, hey, you should have done better. Hey, it's not too late to do better.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we ask these questions, because so many people have experienced these type of situations where they have chose men that didn't choose their children just to be in a relationship, just to be laid up with someone, just to have someone on their arm. It's not worth it, because if all of you are not being valued, then what's the value in that? What's the value in that? You mean to tell me this very thing that I gave birth to, that I almost died
that
to,
I can't love?
You don't love?
You telling me I can't love my kid? No, that's
why,
unacceptable.
That's why it's so good to talk these things out, because I want to know how you feel about children before we go any further. Because for me, I don't have any biological kids myself. Therefore, I need to know, do you want kids? Because that's going to be a deal breaker for me. I dated a man, and then afterwards, now all of a sudden he going to tell he told somebody else.
You have to know how they want to raise
He
their
no
kids
longer
too.
want to have kids. So my thing is, that's something you should have had a conversation with me about, because then I would have known. I didn't have to waste my year of being with you for a year.
Thinking that that's
only,
when we were on the same track.
And
we
you
wanted the same thing.
You said that. Cause that's,
you said that.
But let me tell you, that's why it's always good to have conversations more than one time, because this conversation took place in the dating phase. This conversation took place in the dating phase.
I don't want to date. I want to marry the man that I started dating. Exactly. The man that courted me, that made me fall in love with him. That's who I want to marry. I don't want to marry the person you are instead of the person you pretended to be. I don't know. We gotta get this together. Let me get some tissue real quick.
You need tissue?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, in closing, I just want to let y'all know, I'm going to let my sister say her closing remarks too. But I wanted to talk about healthy relationship tips, just characteristics that represents a healthy relationship. And the reason why I wanted to write these down, because I've been in some really good relationships and they didn't always end badly. Not most of my relationship didn't end badly. It was just it was time to separate. It wasn't something that was marriage material. It wasn't something that needed to be longevity, because like I say, oftentimes people put up their representative. They don't put up their actual person of who they are. So when you're learning someone's representative versus who they actually are, the moment you start to see the red flags and the moment you start to see the things that are not in line with what it is your heart desires and what you deserve and need, it's nothing wrong with addressing it and coming to the conclusion that maybe that's not going to work for you. And oftentimes that's what happened, because like I was telling you guys before, I was with a guy who at the beginning we had the conversation about kids, marriage, and all those good things. And the reason why I had these conversations early on, because I want to know if we're on the same wavelength. I need to know if we're going in the same direction. If you're not in this thing for marriage, I don't want it, because I'm headed for marriage. I'm not headed for play. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, we could do all of that in our marriage. We could do all of that together. The dating, everything, because I want to date my husband forever. But if you come again and have these conversations and all of a sudden they don't want kids, the things that are non-negotiable, this is what I'm talking about. Don't change on me on the things that's non-negotiable. Respecting me, that's non-negotiable. Considering me, loving me, protecting me, that's non-negotiable. Communicating with me, that's non-negotiable. Like, I'm not about to negotiate my worth and my value to you. I'm not about to change what I know that I'm worth just so that you can be happy. And I said that the last time. I said a lot of times we'll go without just so our mate or our person can be happy. I'm not willing to do that, because there's no way that my person will allow me to go without just so they can be happy. Exactly. No, we're gonna both be happy, because I want to make sure my husband is pleased and he's satisfied and he's appreciated, just like I want the same thing. So when I talk about this next part, this is our closing. So we're getting ready to close, okay? I'm going to make these last points, and then I'm going to let my sister do her closing remarks, and then I'm going to close us out, right? So this is just talking about identifying characteristics of a healthy relationship. And this is what I come, because a lot of people, they say it's like 5 C's to good good relationships. However, I got a whole lot more than 5, so let's talk about it. It says, these are some of the things that I feel. A healthy relationship, respect your privacy and space. We talked about that. Sometimes we need space. Sometimes we need privacy. I need someone that's going to respect that. That's a healthy relationship, when we're respecting each other's space. Right. If he say, babe, I'm going through something, I just need a minute, you give him that minute and you pray for him. Right. And you do what you can do on your end. That don't mean bug him, text him every 10 minutes, call while he needs to talk to me. Sometimes you want to force somebody to talk that don't want to communicate at that moment. And sometimes we could be in situations that we don't necessarily know how to communicate just yet. Right. We don't know the exact words to tell. We don't know how to tell you that we need help yet, because we don't know that we need help. Right. Give me a minute to figure out what I need first, and I'll be like, look, this is what I need. But if you don't give that person time, enough space, and respect that space and let them do what they need to do, then how you gonna know that they actually want to choose you? Right. You can't choose you for them.
Right.
You know, and oftentimes we try to force ourselves on people. I'm not forcing myself on people. I'm going to be who I am 100%. You either going to like it, love it, and want it, or you not. And I'm going to respect it. Moving on, right? It says respecting other people's peace. Don't mean space. Don't feel like you have to be with someone 24/7. I like my space. I like my me time. I tell y'all about my me days all the time. Those days are necessary. Even when I'm married, I need a me day. I need a day where I'm just about Sharon. Go get my nails, toes done. I'm still going to go to the shooting range by myself. I'm still gonna go to the beach and stuff by myself because those are my times that I need for me to think, to
that's
to
part of your lifestyle. That is the way you live.
Exactly, and I feel
be a part of it. Don't come interrupting or ruining it. Be a part of it.
Be a part of it. You could add to it. Maybe I might take you along on my me day.
No, right. Maybe I might show you my little beach spot. So you
would know where I be.
Or you can go and do what you got to do there.
And we share that. Which is the next point. It says your partner encourages you to spend time with your friends without them. I don't need to be with you and your friends all the time. I'm going to encourage you, babe, go out, enjoy your boys, have fun, because I trust you. I know that you value this relationship, but I tell people used to always ask me, like, you're not afraid that you're going to do something? No, because one thing I never do is I never went through any man's phone. I never went through their wallets. I never went through their stuff. I respect who you are because one thing I know for sure is God always showed me what I need to know. I never had to go looking for it. Every guy that I knew that cheated on me, I never went looking for it. It came right to my door. It came right to me. In fact, they came right to me. Every last one of them. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. But they literally came right to me.
Okay.
But that goes to show that we had a good friendship.
Right.
And that's why I feel like good relationships are built on good friendships. I said because I didn't have to go looking for it. They literally came to me. Both guys that I know, I don't know about everybody else. They came and told me, and they told me in the same exact form. It was a baby on the way.
Oh,
and you know something? I respected them for that because I didn't have to find out from anybody else. I kid you not. Both parties told me first.
And you know what? You are amazing for that because I'm coming to kick everybody's ass. You ain't having no baby by my man. Period.
Okay, so he encourages you to go spend time with your friends and your family. Like, you don't always need me there. Like, I don't want my man to be out with me and my girls all the time. Not unless we doing double dating, quadruple dating.
Right.
Like, they husbands is there or they man is there. But I don't want, I need my space because I like I always say, even when I vacation, I still want to have my girls trip. Now, I'm probably going to go on more couples trips than girls trips.
They hate girls trips.
But I need you to respect that I still need my girls trip.
Listen. I went on a girls trip in 2021, and let's just say, I'm gonna keep it quiet and keep it cute. But I see why y'all don't like them girls trips.
Well, I don't know about her girl trips, but my girl trips don't get out of hand like that. I ain't never had issues like that on my girl trips. And even when I had a man, I never. Because we are very
If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Also, he encourages you to participate in activities that you enjoy.
Right.
Doing what you like or she like. Like, I think if I know that my man loves to do something, baby, let's do this. I know you like to do this. Let's do this. Like, if I plan a date, I'm going to plan a date according to the things that he like to do too. If it's my date night to plan, because I believe in, because I know a lot of women want to be courted, but at the same time, you have to do things to appreciate
to maintain a good, healthy relationship is work. It's work in a boyfriend, girlfriend is working, husband and wife. It's a relationship is work. Mm-hmm. But you have to love that person and love yourself enough to want to be good to them.
Why wouldn't you want to?
Why wouldn't you want to?
Why wouldn't you want to?
A lot of people because a lot of people deal with a lot of trauma. A lot of people deal with childhood trauma. A lot of people have seen bad relationships in their lives. A lot of people just emulate what they have seen.
A lot of people do, and that's not a good thing.
It's not.
Because I love the people that are more like me where we...
What do you think about dating yourself? We never mentioned that. It's good to... I think I'm in the stage of dating myself.
I talk about that all the time.
Well, I'm in the stage of dating myself because I want to know who I am. Like you said, I go back to this question. Would you marry you?
That's the question. Because and we've talked about this before, I always encourage you guys to take yourself on dates. Take yourself to the movies. Take yourself out to eat.
Self-care, self-love is very important.
Hour. This is why I talk about the me days. Y'all already know my me days. I take myself out all day. It's an all day thing. Not only do I go pepper myself, but I take myself out to eat. I sit and read in my books.
She go to the movies.
I do it
by
all
herself.
by myself, and I enjoy it. Like, I love
and been
those
doing
moments
it for years.
For years, y'all. And this is why I know that I would be willing to date me, because I put so much time and affection and just consideration into the things that I do for myself, and I know that's how I'm going to be with my man, because I've been there where I literally give all that I have because I want them to feel special. I go way out for their birthdays, and I go way out just because. The guy that I was just dating, he literally, I would do special things for him every single month. It wasn't because it was a holiday or a birthday or anything.
It was just because you genuinely had some love.
I really did, and the thing is,
I treated him,
make them happy. But the thing is, not only that, I treated him like I treated Sharon. I spoiled me, and so I have the habit of spoiling my man, and not just with gifts, but with time, attention, and love and consideration. When you need to talk, I'm there to listen. I ain't gonna say nothing unless you ask my opinion. I'm her. I want to, what you need, baby. You need to just vent. Okay, I'm going to sit here and listen.
You're going to be the perfect wife.
And you know, and it's not even that. I just want someone that's going to appreciate the person that I am and give me exactly what I'm giving you. Like, reciprocate the time and the attention and the love and the respect and the loyalty. Like, let's communicate. Let's be real with each other. Let's build that foundation of friendship. So even when shit is crazy, we got that foundation of friendship to fall back on. Right. And that's why I say I'm grateful for even because the guys that I've dated before, they're all my friends. And it's because we had a friendship before. And like I said, the two guys that did cheat, they came to me and told me directly. I literally, that's the one thing I got to give 100% respect to them for, because I didn't have to find out by anybody else. They came to me directly and was like, look, Sharon. And they felt bad about it, but it was like,
you got the real though.
Right.
You didn't have, it wasn't no girl. Because I didn't have them come up to me in the dispensary.
I ain't never had.
Yeah.
Now, I did have a woman call me, Terrence. So my boyfriend who passed away, you guys, I remember I told y'all about that. I ain't told the whole story about that, but we'll go and talk about that another day. But that was the one time I ever had a girl call me, and I thought I was in a time zone. I was like, what the hell? I ain't never, girl, I'm thinking
I had them pull up on me in DDs and everything, okay? Louisiana chicken, excuse me. We dating the same man.
Dang, that's deep.
Straight up.
That's deep.
And I'll tell her straight up.
Okay.
You can have them. You won.
You won. So other ways to know that you're in a healthy relationship, you feel comfortable with expressing your opinions and concerns to your partner. And I think that that's a big one, because a lot of people are afraid to be able to talk to their partner or express how they feel to their partner, or even express concerns. If there's a concern in the relationship, in the children, in the family, in the finances, of anything, I need to be comfortable enough to come and talk to you. If there's something going on with me, I need to be able to be comfortable with telling you stuff. Or if something going on and we talking about it, I should be comfortable enough to tell you my opinion. I shouldn't be afraid. I shouldn't be scared. Everything.
What about money?
Everything.
Is money? I'm asking about money is because would you date someone who's less fortunate than you?
I don't know what less fortunate means.
Meaning like they broke. As fuck.
So we've had this discussion too. Y'all already know. My audience know. But what I say is this, because on the last podcast that I did with a few of my peoples, we talked about, do a man has to have a certain amount of income? Because women feel like you got to have this amount. This is what I say when it comes to far as money. No, I'm not dating a man who is broke. That means you do not work, you do not try, you do not do anything. I'm not dating that type of man.
No goals,
that's not my
nothing.
husband. He don't have any ambition. He don't have anything. No, I'm not dating him.
Right.
I will date, like I said, I don't need you to be rich. I don't need you to be making $100,000 a year. That's not. I need you to be comfortable and financially stable and able to take care of yourself. I need you to be able to take care of yourself. I need you to be able to hold your own.
Right.
I'm not asking you to come in and take over and do all these things for me. What I'm asking you to do is be stable enough to take care of yourself.
And if I can't do it, you can, baby.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not willing to deal with someone who's broke.
Who's financially irresponsible.
Like, you can't pay your own bills. You don't have your own nothing. Like, no. It's a no. And I'm going to be 100% honest. My husband is not broke. He is not, he's not broke.
God is not sending me no broke husband.
He's not broke, because I've been praying for him way too long for him to be broke. I know he ain't broke. You know,
but,
and I'm speaking real richness
though,
over his life.
Listen though. There is some women who are more fortunate than their men, but they still got good men who takes care of the home. Would you do that? I know we out of time. I know this gonna be good. I'll be back.
So we're not gonna talk about that. But there are some. No, this is the thing. I wouldn't even mind if I made more money than my husband.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
No, not make more money. House husband.
I don't know about that because, but at different strokes for different folks. I'm not saying
what works for you. Works for you, and
because
that's absolutely
let me tell
fine.
you why. Because there's a lot of households where the women love to work.
They do.
They love it,
and they're
right?
like high powered in their position.
Yeah.
And then they have
and they'd rather be the worker.
Speaking of that, the lady was talking and she said, "I work. My husband takes care of the kids.
And that's fair.
But she also said, "But he's still a husband. Sometimes when I come home, the food is cooked, the kids are asleep. He running me bath order. We have our romantic time." Mm-hmm. So she did say he's not into full daddy mode. Uh-huh. He does. She said he does his things. He takes me out on dates. I get date night. Mm-hmm. I get nice dinners. My house is always clean. It's organized. Mm-hmm. So do whatever works for you. Just make sure that you are secure within yourself, because that's absolutely one of the most important things. And that's not for the woman. That's for the man. Make sure you're secure with yourself and you love y'all dynamic, you love y'all family, and that will work.
If it's what y'all agree on.
Exactly. But
it ain't gotta make sense to everybody.
It doesn't.
Shit.
And that's the thing. Everybody's relationships does not have to make sense to everybody. So, am I doing my closing?
Not yet, because I'm not done.
Okay, finish.
Okay, so we talked about you have to feel comfortable with expressing your opinions and your concerns to your partner. Furthermore, these are the C's that I came up with.
Let's go.
Communication,
yes.
Commitment, compassion,
yep.
Compatibility, chemistry,
yep.
Consideration, comfortability, because I need to be comfortable with my man at all times. That is very important.
Very.
Collaboration, because what we decide on this household is what we decide on this household. Can't nobody say nothing about this. And if we decide he gonna stay home and take care of these kids and take care of this house and I work, then that's gonna be.
And if we're not on one accord, how we building this empire?
Period. Because what? Collaboration and then compromise. I think that these are all keys to a healthy relationship, and I feel like this is a solid foundation to build on. Yeah. All of these C's are a very solid foundation to build on. It's one, knowing who you are. Two, knowing who your partner are. And then three, y'all coming together and making it work for y'all household. Every household is different. Don't try to mimic or copy another person's household, another person's marriage, because we do not know what they had to go through to get where they are. There's a process to molding and shaping your relationship and your marriage and your household into what you need it to be. Sometimes it could take years for people to get on that one accord in that household, because y'all have to realize y'all taking two separate households, making them one. One person might fold towels a certain way, and the other one might fold them another way, and that might cause
one might not fold.
Right? Shit, for real. But y'all gotta find a way to compromise and mold and shape these situations to make it work for you. You know what I'm saying? Because,
like, say for instance, if you want a maid to come in and do it, baby, go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you right now, husband, we having a maid twice a month. She coming in,
right?
And I'm not sitting. Let me tell you something. And my sister could vouch. I'm a very clean person. Very clean person. I have a house, and I had 3 little people living in that house, and that house still stayed clean. Yeah. I made them clean up after themselves. And mind you, they're little. They are 2, 3, and they was like 8 at the time. Clean up after yourself. Right. We have a clean house. But what I do want is a maid to come in and do the extra dusting, cleaning out the windshields, and
wash my walls for me,
and mopping these floors.
Do the seals for me. Yeah.
Like, I want the extra stuff, because of course I'm gonna keep my house up, but it ain't no problem with having a little help.
Let me tell you, it ain't nothing wrong, women. It ain't nothing wrong with living your soft life.
Please live soft lives.
No, we are not obligated to run ourselves down. We need time for ourselves. We need to love on ourselves. We need to have more self-care. We need to love on our children.
That's your closing. Stop.
That's my closing.
Okay. My last point, and then we're going to do our closing, because we have went well over our time today.
Yeah, I'll be back, y'all.
It says, for healthy relationships, we need these things. And these are the last things I'm going to give y'all. Y'all know I always give you these key points to work on. I'm going to go over the C's one more time just so y'all can have those things. Remember, it is communication, commitment, compassion, compatibility, chemistry, consideration, comfortability, collaboration, compromise. Figure out what these things mean to you and figure out what they mean to your partner and figure out how y'all can come on one accord to make it work for your relationship, your foundation, so that you could build on that. You know
and
what
I
I'm
say
saying?
empathy and understanding as well. And I say empathy because sometimes relationships is very, very
Your
tough.
closing remark.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. And then and those are the C's. That's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are my C's.
Okay. Got you.
Next, healthy relationships need these things. Okay, build on it. This is your foundation. You need attention. You need acceptance. You need appreciation. You need affection, and you need allowance. What do I mean by these things? And understand this, because we all want attention from the person that
I'm
we
more
like.
interested in the allowance.
I'm gonna get there. I know everybody does. Attention, because we all want to feel like we
want it.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
I'm big
but
on it. I
why?
say it all the time. Everybody want to feel wanted. Everybody want to feel like that person is still.
You can
interested
literally
in
not
them.
buy me anything, but show me all the love in the
Spend
world,
some
and
quality
you have
time.
me. You have me. You literally have me off that small thing. Just spending some quality time with me.
Acceptance is so big, you guys. The reason why I say this is because you want to be accepted for who you are by the person that love you. You don't want to be with someone that's constantly trying to change the way you talk, change the way you look, change the way you act, change the way who you hang around, change. Like, do you like anything about me?
Right.
Do you like anything about me to where you want me to just change who I am? You don't like the way I talk, or you like it, but when I'm
it's
around
not
other
them
people,
not liking you. It's them not liking themselves and unaware of what their wants are. So what that does is that manipulates you, and then you start to be up on yourself, thinking that I have to be what he wants me to be.
Right.
But you
don't settle.
Don't settle.
And I tell people this all the time. If you're gonna be in a committed relationship, be you. And if you can't be you, walk away.
Right.
And I'm not saying like just walk away. I'm saying if a person do not appreciate who you are, they're constantly trying to change who you are, walk away. It's okay. There's going to be someone out there that's going to love you, accept you, and want you just for who you are.
Absolutely.
And that's not going to make you compromise. It's not fair that I'm the only person compromising who I am, what I want, and what I need just so this relationship can work. What is they compromising? What are they giving up? What are they making adjustments to make this thing work? It's not right. I don't care if you're the breadwinner in my house or not. You are going to allow me to be who I am. And I need the freedom to be Sharon. Right. If I can't have the freedom to be Sharon, and understand that me being the freedom to be Sharon is going to take really good care of you. You ain't going to lack nothing if you let me be the Sharon I know how to be. Because now granted, I want to know how you receive love. I want to know how you receive appreciation. And I'm going to act on those things. But don't try to change who I am.
Right.
That's what I mean. Because I'm going to still love you the way you need to be loved, okay? Moving on. Appreciation. We just had a whole little thing about appreciation, y'all. So I already know appreciation is give and take. You want to know how to appreciate people. Use the word thank you and all these good things, right? Affection. We all want affection. And then the last one really quick, allowance. What I mean about allowance is allow me to freely be who I am and who I need to be.
Oh,
no. Allowance is allowing someone to freely be themselves. And you're going to either love that person the way that they are and help them and push them into their greatest potential and push them to their greatest version of themselves, but you're allowing them to grow and you're allowing them to build. Even like new mothers, some people are so rough on them. Allow them to grow into this motherhood. Yeah, motherly instincts might kick in a little later for other people, but allow them time and space to grow and bond and do the things that mothers do. They've never done it before. Allow your husband space and time for like mess ups and mistakes. Like, nobody's perfect, but allow yourself that space and time and opportunity to grow. Don't expect somebody to come to you absolutely perfect with all the answers and just know everything. It doesn't work like that.
But in that process also, be kind and gentle with yourself.
You have to.
Be kind and gentle with yourself. That's the era that I am in. Because I've been hard on myself. Pretty much my whole life. I've been very hard on myself. So now, me and you had a conversation one time and we were talking about cash. And
hold on one second. We need to close up real quick.
Okay.
We well over the time.
Okay.
And I need to.
We had a conversation about cash and you said, well, other people was going through this, other people was experiencing worse. And I said, I know I like to go on that too, but I also like to just sit in my peace, sit in what's bothering me. You know what I mean? And work through that.
Right.
All right, that's all.
Closing remarks.
All right.
Yours.
Oh, mine. Okay, so listen, ladies and gentlemen, what I would like for you guys to do is be kind to yourselves. Take your time with life and with love. Anything worth having is worth working your ass off.
Come on now.
You hear me? So here's the thing. Sometimes we need to do a lot of self-reflecting. Go within and take our time with love and loving on other people. But first you must always first learn to love yourself. That's how you reciprocate. That's how you push love out there from loving yourself. You understand? So what I want us to do is take some time for ourselves, sit with ourselves, go through some like me, I'm 40. I'm going through a lot of things right now where I'm just remembering a lot of things about myself. Some of the things I liked, some of the things I didn't. The things that I didn't like, I don't dwell on them. I don't hate myself for them. I work on them and I move forward. And that's just what it is. That's what life is. Life is just making mistakes and learning from them and continuing to smile through it. And that's just what it is. Always remember, people are going to live in your past way more than you do. But don't go there with them. Don't go back there. You keep moving forward, and God and life is going to spin in your favor, baby.
Come on,
and
now.
That's it. That's all I got to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Tori, for sharing your closing remarks. Beautiful people, y'all already know what I come to do. I came to encourage you. I came to help you. I came to motivate you, and I just want you guys to just walk into your greatest potential. My prayer is with what you guys learn from here is don't become so desperate and don't become so hard on yourself to where you feel like you have to settle for just anything. Take your time. Don't put an age, don't put a time limit on what it takes to get to know people and go to the next level. You will get there.
Right.
You will get there. I would rather you take your time and you get to your right person than you to rush and marry the wrong person. That's why our divorce rates are so high right now, because people are just willy-nilly just throwing themselves out there and just
don't even know
anything.
who they are.
And some people don't allow themselves to really allow these relationships to develop and flourish and grow and figure out what it is that they want. Sometimes people make the decisions for you. Stop letting people make a lifelong decision for you that you have to live with. Don't settle for somebody just because they got money. Don't settle for someone just because they look good or they got good sex. Baby, there is so much more deeper things in a relationship that it takes to build something strong and healthy. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, the last thing is those things, okay? Because the sex can change, okay? You understand what I'm saying? The money can change, okay? But your loyalty, your respect, and how you feel about you, that should never change. Don't jeopardize or limit your standards and what you desire from someone simply because you know what they have. You're bigger than that and you're better than that. And if you waited this long, it's okay to wait a little bit longer. Stop comparing yourself to other people. We talk about that all the time. A lot of people are rushing into situations because they want a marriage like that and they want that and they want that. It's more than that.
Right.
It's more than that. And honestly, some of us might need to be alone for a little bit longer because that's where your peace is. That's where your joy is. And the thing is this, one more thing before I go. Make sure you heal and make sure you become whole before you decide to commit your life to someone else, because you don't want to carry old baggage and old frustrations and old drama over to someone else. You're better than that.
Right.
And if you see someone still carrying a whole lot of luggage and baggage and they're trying to get into a committed relationship with you, the best thing you could do for them and you would say, look, I think you just still need some time to heal. You're not whole yet and you're not ready, because I'm ready for commitment and you're still carrying this. And you have these, sometimes people got insecurities that you're not willing to deal with. I talked about that. Remember, there's some situations that I'm not willing to deal with. I'm praying for my husband. Please don't have any bad addictions.
Closing.
Please. Sorry. So, okay. Sorry. We about to close. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in to the All In No Limits podcast. I so appreciate you guys.
Where everything is no limit, baby.
Thank you for commenting. Thank you for just sitting with us for this time. I know this is way past our time, but we appreciate you, okay?
Yes.
You already know. Thank you so much for tuning in, where you're always going to find me, your girl, your pusher, your best friend, your number one motivator and hype man, Sharon Yvonne. I love you guys so much. You already know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, send it to a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend, and tell another friend,
post
tell
on
a
your
cousin,
Instagram
auntie,
story,
sister, whatever. Hype your girl up. Don't forget to be locked in for life. So I need y'all help to get there. Okay.
Exactly.
But yes, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate
was a
you
good
guys.
one.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great. We want to thank our co-host for today, Tori,
Yes.
my sister. This is my oldest sister, you guys, from my mom's side.
Yes, her real sister.
Lord have mercy. I love you guys. Thank
Love
you
you.
again. See you next time.
Make sure you take care of you at all times.